Had a last minute request, last minute order, and so I decided to um, freestyle it because, yeah, I want to. So I'm doing a corset with a sharp edge on this side. It's going to be a little asymmetrical. So first we're starting with the base itself, and then we're going to go ahead and do the structured piece afterwards. So the base underneath, because there's gonna be material on top, I'm not going to do like fancy lines. We're just gonna go ahead and do a basic corset. So you can see where I'm drawing my lines. And then I'm gonna go ahead and just, we're going a little lower because we want it to, it's gonna be a ball gown. So we want it to be that basque waist. I'm adding extra for seam allowance. It's not gonna be this much when I cut it out, the actual material. And I wanna do a somewhat of a sweetheart neckline with a more rounded edge. I'm not gonna make it so pointy here. I guess we can have a 3-panel in the front for the most support possible. It's so cold in here, y'all, so for some reason, heat doesn't rise in our building. It stays exactly where it's coming out from. Now, I will say I have not received my client's measurements as yet, but based off of the photos that I've seen, I can pretty much guesstimate like her size. And thankfully this corset, it's adjustable, so I should be receiving her measurements in the next few hours. So I'm just gonna make this base real quick. That way when she gives it to me, I didn't waste any time. I'm gonna move this over just a little bit more. Honestly, let me stop being cheap with it and give myself more space, more fabric to work with. Okay. And you'll see how fast and easy it is to just really cut these corsets out and sew it up. I won't be sewing it live because I do need to wait for her measurements, but I have a group where I most likely will be finishing this corset in. Oh, hi. I'm over here talking to myself, didn't even know you guys were here. So yeah, I have a group that I'll be finishing this corset in to show all the detailed finishes and how we're gonna do the structured piece. It is a paid group, but I go into detail and I work hand in hand with each designer that's in my group so that they're actually learning without any delays. So we're gonna have 3 panels in the front for this corset. Hi. This corset is, so when you're pinning, I just marked the princess seam. And remember, with corsets, you can literally have your seams anywhere. Just make sure that it makes sense. Like it literally has to make sense. And by that, I mean, if it looks wrong on the dress form, then you know it's gonna be wrong on the body. And if let's say your client is this waist size, but her bust is a triple G, then all you have to do is add a bra to the bust, stuff it, and then you start draping over all of that. And that will give you the foundation and the shape that you need to make the proper corset. And the same with the waist, the underbust. Like if, let's say her bust is this size, but her waist is a little wider, all you have to do is add a bodycon to your garment and stuff it. Stuff it with scraps, stuff it with a t-shirt, stuff it with whatever you want, and make the shape that you're going for your client. And that's the easiest way for custom designs to be like very accurate while draping without having a corset, without having a pattern. So, sorry guys, I'm trying to pin and talk. So I'm just making these, pinning these close together. You see my pins are going downwards. You can see the shape forming out. I'm gonna just drape everything. I'm gonna drape everything now, and then, like I said, I'll be posting part 2. The rest will be in my paid group. The rest will be in my paid group. Okay, so I like to go about 6 inches from where the waist is, go all the way down, because your waist would be like here, right? Like this is, you guys can see, this is my waist. Going about 6 inches down brings me to right here, where this is where the fupa is, y'all. You want to cover that. You want the boning structure to suck that in for you, right? And then on gowns, if I have my waist of the skirt come from here, it gives that illusion of snatched waist. And that's what we want, okay? So, again, this is gonna be a ball gown. So we definitely want it to be as dramatic as possible for that ball gown to just look like what waist, okay? Okay. I like to leave a 1/2 inch seam allowance. And right now it's a little more than a half, but I'm gonna mark it so that when I have it flat, I'm gonna go ahead and leave the right amount of seam allowance. Okay, and now we're gonna do the side. Remember, you can play with your lines. The more lines you have, that's just more seams. You can choose whether you want it to be shown or not. Like, there's so many ways that you can play around with your patterns. Don't be afraid of playing with the lines. Hi, thank you. Yeah, you're gonna see, I'm gonna try to do I'm just gonna do the front live. But, you know, let me stop saying what I'm gonna do and just do it. So for this one, just gonna go ahead. You wanna grab it as tight as possible. You don't want it to be all baggy here, because remember, this is your bust. So you want that to sit up as much as possible. I'm gonna go ahead and round this out when I'm done pinning. So for now, I went ahead and pinned all along the side seam. That way I can stabilize it while I'm pulling. So now it's smooth on this side, and then by the time I smooth it out here, it's gonna be nice and smooth. I know people have their challenges with corsets, but when I tell you, once you learn, it's like you're gonna constantly keep learning, because there's so many different ways that you can get creative with your corsets. But it's so simple. Once you learn the foundation, you can literally do, I would say, almost everything when it comes to corsets. So you can see I'm pulling, well, I hope you can see, I'm pulling as tight as possible because we want this to be very smooth. Again, I want this to be very smooth. And we still have room to pull it here, because we don't want no bubbles, no creases. So I'm gonna go ahead and let me pin the front down. And match that stuff in. And you want to just keep doing it until everywhere is smooth. Like all of this should be very smooth, very smooth. Ah. Okay, so I want a rounded edge here. Not too pointy, full coverage because she is a child. This is for a sweet 16. So we're gonna go about an inch underneath the armhole. That gives enough space. If your arm is here, you have about this much space where your corset will come. That way it's not directly underneath your armpit. So I like to leave about an inch. And then you can start working your way. So now I'm gonna cut it because that's about the shape that I want. And you see I'm cutting above because I'm leaving myself seam allowance. I like to leave at least a half an inch seam allowance. I've been working on, so I have a private group now. It's called Custom to Couture, where we have live sewing sessions just like this. So I won't be going live often on YouTube because I do have a private group that I do it, that is paid. And we get to work alongside each other, so everybody has their own projects. And then I'm able to, you know, somewhat assist in person, well, I should say live. I teach as well, so these tutorials here, I will go into like more depth with it, and I also give like a lot of business advice, so how to acquire clients, especially higher paid clients, how to strengthen your brand, so branding, all the things. So on the side, I'm just gonna leave another half an inch. Again, I don't have my client's measurements, but based off of her photos, she looks like she's anywhere between a size, honestly, a size 2 to a size 6. So right now, my dress form is a size 6, but you know, these dress forms really be like a size in between. So I would say my dress form is about a size 4. And because this is a corset, I could just go in and deduct from the waist if her measurements just so happen to be smaller than my dress form. Like, it's fine. It's okay. Okay, so this is the shape I wanted for the corset. And now what I'm gonna do, since we're on live, I will go ahead and start doing the other shape here. So for that one, I don't want too many lines, even though I will be smoothing out the, okay, so we're gonna do a center. Yeah, I will be smoothing out the top part by using the batting and all that. Like, we're gonna make it real smooth so that it looks like nothing. Like no lines, no seams, you won't see anything. So we're gonna start up here. This one is gonna have a center piece, and then we're gonna do seam here and a seam here. So I'm gonna put this right here in the center. I'm using muslin, by the way. I'm gonna pin this on both sides. Put one up there. Where's everybody from? Talk to me, talk to me. So here now that I have it stabilized, I'm gonna put one more right here. I'm going to pull, not super tight, but just enough tension. And I want my seams, I don't want my seams directly on any princess lines. I want it more so towards the side, so it's out the way. Thank you. Hey, babe,
Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them, for the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Deuteronomy chapter 31, verse 6.
Yeah, that's all it was is one. It's like the heating system just don't rock with us for real. Okay, so right now we're doing the top layer of the corset, right? So you're gonna see exactly how I'm about to do this. So we want it to come from here, it's going up. Or you know what? Actually, we want it to be from really like midway. So what we're gonna do is we're about to pull this all the way to like here. Because the seams have to make sense. The seams have to make sense. Excuse my husband for coming in here making so much noise. So what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna put a seam here, and then when we do the top layer, I'm gonna smooth it all the way out with the batting, do all the boning and everything, and then we're gonna cover it with one full piece. So it's gonna look like this corset that's going this way has no seam lines. Okay? So I'm gonna just draw it out so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna cut this part just yet because I need to open it and bring it across the chest because it's asymmetrical. Sorry for all the extra noise I hear. Okay, so we're gonna have it come this way. This corset is about to be very structured because she has the bottom layer and this midsection layer. Okay, sorry, I gotta come down. So I have it this way because I need it, remember I'm gonna open the center seam and then we're gonna cut the asymmetrical look while it's on the dress form. But for now, we can go ahead and cut the side panel. We need to bring it up because remember this side has the point. So we're just gonna make sure we do it on this side at least. And then we're gonna play around with the shape. Okay. So give yourself some room. What I like to do is, if you don't want to waste fabric, like this is muslin, and muslin is not always the cheapest everywhere. At Walmart, they sell cotton. The cotton fabric is like 2 yards in a bundle for like $6. So $3 per yard, which is not bad at all. Go to Walmart and get that material, y'all. I use it all the time. I literally have some here, some scraps that I did the other day from a corset that I made for my group. I can show you guys in a second. But you can use that as a foundational fabric material for your corsets. And it's inexpensive. Okay. All right, so we're gonna do the side seam here. like I said, I didn't want too many seams right down the center, even though I'm gonna be batting and stuff. It's like whatever. So we're gonna go ahead and just pull it together. Pull it together. And pull it together on each side. Sorry guys, I'm trying to get you the best angle. I don't know if that's the best angle for you. You're gonna see in a second when I cut. Let me see what this one having it come into more of a V shape. I love me a good V shape. This piece is a V shape. I know I probably look a little confused right now because everything's the same color, but you're gonna see in 1 second what's happening here. You can always start in the middle and then work your way down and then work your way up. That way you don't have these type of hoops, darts in the middle. We're working things out. We'll work this thing out. If I pull it up, then that ease have to come out somewhere, and I don't want to shift this. So what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna leave the dart, but in the actual cutout, I'm not going to include it. We're gonna eliminate this, and by eliminating is you pin this piece. So when you pin this piece closed, right? When you cut this midsection out, you're gonna cut it exactly like this without this here. That's the easiest way I could explain eliminating a dart. So right now we're just gonna pin that there so that it's nice and smooth. We want this to be on the body. So, okay, so now we have the shape of the front. Remember, we want this to leave the top part because I want it to be a sharp point. So I'm leaving me enough space to play around with it. All I'm doing is cutting out the sides, seam here. I'm gonna cut this some more. Babe, I'm on live. I bet. Oh, okay. Right. Probably the same downstairs too. Probably. what I'm gonna do is, while I'm on live, because this is an easy dart to just take in, I'm gonna go ahead and sew these darts up, and then we're gonna do the shape for the front, and then you'll see what the front of this corset looks like. I'm just gonna cut this here, mark it here, so I know exactly where it needs to be. So we're gonna go to the sewing machine real quick. Trying to do this under, we'll stop at 30. Well, we'll stop when I'm done. We're renovating our building, guys, so. We're just gonna pull those out. And now I'm gonna go to the sewing machine real quick, sew these darts up, but you can see the middle shape here. And it looks pretty neat. So we're gonna take a nice little trip to the sewing machine, which is over here. Excuse my lunch. I had some halal food, and it was pretty tasty. Let me see where I can sit you guys. I will move you guys here. Okay. I'll move you right here. I think that's a good seat. So yeah, like I said, I have a private group where I will be going live. We have sewing sessions. It's way more interactive, and I give out complimentary patterns, so you don't have to drape like this. We have our first official course dropping on this Wednesday coming. It's called Intro to Bridal, where I go over all of the things that any designer will need to get started in bridal design, how to get your clients, especially them high-paying clients. My business has been blessed to see 5-figure paying clients, and I'm here to just help other designers, whether you want to go into bridal or just up your prom game or evening wear. It's like, these are things that you definitely should consider learning, especially in custom. Custom is like, you gotta put so much details into it. It's not just slapping some fabrics together. You gotta take your time. Make sure the quality is good. Your client's gonna keep coming. All right, so now we have that midsection. You see these darts? What we're gonna do, and like what I was saying from before. Hi, thank you for joining. We can, once we press them seams out, when we cut this out of the actual material that we're gonna be using, we're not going to include these darts, because I don't want them in my, I don't want them in my corset. Okay, so we're back here now. So this is the base of the corset, right? And we're doing the top layer right now. That way, you can see right here. So we cut this right, this is right down the center. So let's pin this right here. Yep. Okay, so what we're doing so you guys saw that there's a pattern underneath, like there's a corset underneath this. I'm making the top layer so that I can do the structured piece that's going right directly on top of it. So now we're gonna take this one side, because I cut 2 at a time, which everybody should be doing. You should never, well, let me not say everybody. I do 2 at a time because typically I do not do these patterns. I normally will cut out of the material itself because I don't like to waste time. I like to get it done the first time, and 99.9% of the time everything is perfect. So I don't have to sit here and drape and recut and try on and recut. Okay, so you can see it's starting to shape out. It's starting to form out here. So I'm gonna go ahead and pin this part together. Remember, I gave myself about a half an inch. I'm not sure if you guys can see, but I am pinning downwards, pinning this side closed. So we're gonna leave this side like that because we're literally making the point on this side and it's going right underneath, because on this side we're gonna do bling. It's gonna be real nice. Okay, so this side is fine. So now I gotta do this side. So I'm gonna start pinning from down here and then work my way up. Thank you guys for joining me. I truly appreciate it. Truly appreciate it. I have so many more tutorials. Some of them, again, I'll post on here, but most of them will be exclusive to my group, Custom to Couture. If you are interested, the link is on my page, in my link tree. Okay. Oh, let me put one here. Okay, so now I'm just gonna pin the side. Remember, you wanna make it as smooth as possible, so I'm pulling. And you know it's gonna be good when it's smooth on your dress form. Oh, it's gonna be fire on your person. Okay, so and then boning will help with any type of, like right now it's sagging just a little bit. Once I add that boning in there, it's gonna help stabilize it. So you can see here, this is the front of the corset. We're about to go ahead and cut it. because I want the shape of a nice asymmetrical line. So before, normally I would just free cut it, but since y'all are here, I will go ahead and draw it out. Now we can have that point come up to here. We can have it come up to here, but I want to be dramatic, so we're going to come up to here. And I don't want too much of the bust showing. Debating on if I want it to come back up. I mean, it won't hurt. And then, remember, it needs to come down to here because we need at least 1 inch clearance from under your arm. That way, the material is not just sitting under your armpits. Okay? And let's cut it. Let's cut it. Give myself some space. Remember, leave yourself some seam allowance. Seam allowance. Okay. So this is goubage. And now, voila. So simple. So easy. And now all it is to cut it out of the right fabric, sew it up, make this as smooth as possible. We're going to drape over this and fire. If you're interested in seeing the final, I will most likely post clips of it once I'm finished. But if you want more detailed tutorial on like step-by-step of what I do next, it will be in my private group. The link will be, I'll leave it in the description when I'm done, but it will be in my private group, Custom to Couture. Link will be in my bio. Thank you guys for joining me, and I hope that you guys have a great day. Bye.